It is now 6 p.m. for me, but 7 p.m. for you guys. I'm Emilia Tos.
And I'm Denai Strong.
And a warm South Florida and Costa Rica welcome to all of you to the 104th edition of Community Conversations. Tonight, we are back in the Amazon studio in downtown Delray Beach after being out in the community for the past 2 weeks.
It is good to be back in the studio this week, as you know. We came to you from the Opal Grand Resort and Spa last weekend and week before last. We were at Spady Museum and we had the chance to meet many of you. And speaking of a must see, as Amelia said, this is our 104th show. And if you know of someone who should be listening tonight, please take a moment and call them and let them know that Community Conversations is on. Let me remind you that we have been coming into your homes every Friday night since February 14th, 2020, and we have not missed one Friday. Not one. Not even Christmas or New Year's Day. This is all possible thanks to the support of our sponsors, whom you will hear more about later in the show. We have another memorable show planned for you tonight.
Guys, I must also add on something. Due to construction work, if you guys haven't noticed, we will not have any videos tonight.
Yep. We will next week. So
We
please.
will next week. But Denaya can sing for us, so we got that covered. Here are Community Conversations. We take full advantage of remote technology to engage our generation with news that will inform without fear and educate without opinion. As you will see tonight, this forum deepens connections and it provides discussions on a range of topics, including social emotional issues, race, inclusion, and equity, improving relations with law enforcement, post secondary education, careers in health and wellness, and politics. We also love to highlight the talented youth in your communities and the great things that they are doing. Because let's face it, kids are curious, the world is fascinating, and knowledge is power.
Sure is. Hello, students, administrators, faculty, and staff of the School District of Palm Beach County. You are encouraged to participate in the 2022 Let's Move Commit to Challenge Physical Activity Challenge, which is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. It is a wide campaign happening from March 1st to March 31st and focuses on activity, nutrition, and healthy behaviors. It provides an excellent opportunity for everyone to renew and recommit to their fitness goals by lodging the number of minutes they exercise each day during the entire month. A team called the School District of Palm Beach County is on the Let's Move website. Each school and department are sub teams of the overall district team. This will make lodging daily physical activities easy and encourage healthy competition among schools and departments. Speaking of Let's Move Rally, congratulations to everyone who attended or participated in the rally at the Old School Square on Tuesday night. And yes, I was there to participate.
Whoa, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Oh no, I can't. Don't want to talk about it. But it was fun, by the way. It
What
was
happens
fun.
at the rally stays at the rally.
Yes, yes, I was dancing on stage. Okay, yeah.
Did anyone take a video? Because I want. Oh,
Well,
Mr. Ciron says he got videos and photos.
oh
Wait, can we
no,
bring Mr. Ciron on? I really want to see
there's
this.
no videos next week. He said that.
We'll share it for $50.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess you can't share it. Well, I had a great time and a special thanks and congrats to the organizers. And again, we don't have any videos or photos, but we will get back to that next week.
Yes, we will. We will get back to your dancing video. next week. So, Dr. Seuss. We know he has somewhat of a controversial legacy, and he is getting a new chapter. 30 years after the beloved children's author passed away, there are plans for a brand new series of books. According to the Associated Press, the original stories will be authored by an all-exclusive group of an upcoming authors and artists. These are inspired by Dr. Seuss's own never-before-seen illustrations. So, how will this look? Will this help save Dr. Seuss's reputation? The aim of the books is to represent a wide variety of backgrounds and families. Last year, 6 titles by Dr. Seuss, whose real name was Theodore Seuss Geisel, were pulled from publication for containing racist and insensitive images. The announcement came on what would have been Dr. Seuss's 118th birthday. The new books are expected in stores and libraries by next year. So we will be able to see how people can kind of save Dr. Seuss from the hole he's dug himself into.
Yep. A huge thanks to all the adults, parents, grandparents, educators, and responsible community servants who, every Friday night, hang out with us to share ideas and instill value in us. We, the leaders of tomorrow, we hear from you in the streets, we get back to your texts and emails, and we value your feedback. You are indeed making a contribution to your community as our mentors, and for that, we truly say thank you.
Thank you. A warm shout out to our team of mentors, Mr. J.P. Steinberg, Miss Suzette Franklin, Miss Priscilla M. Willingham, Mr. Ted White, Mr. Rory Jenkins, and Miss Nastasia Dylan for investing your time in your youth. Honestly, what you guys are doing is taking time out of your day to really teach us life lessons, because community conversations is not only to have fun, to learn, to grow, but it is also a tool for the future.
Yes, it is. Happy born day to Clarence Vaughn, Chris Harvey, Tanya Lopez, Tasha Williams, and Clayton Powell. Happy birthday.
Danaya, you can take it away. You can sing.
Huh? Oh, you got it.
Why do I have it?
Your voice is very much. It's better than mine.
See? Okay. We're going to sing happy birthday together.
Okay.
Ready? Oh, we can sing it in Spanish.
Oh.
Ready?
Yeah. Feliz something.
No, that's Feliz Navidad.
No, Feliz. I forgot. It started with a C. Birthday. Cumpleaños.
Cumpleaños.
Yes, that. Mm-hmm. Cumpleaños.
It goes. No, it's cumpleaños.
Oh, cumpleaños. Oh yeah, my teacher would be very disappointed in me. Spanish teacher.
Okay, we're gonna sing it. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
The studio. No, it's not Feliz Navidad.
See, it's a C, Ron. He's like, yes.
Ready?
Yep.
You go. Cumpleaños feliz, cha cha cha. Deseamos a ti, cha cha cha. Cumpleaños, cumpleaños, cumpleaños feliz, cha cha cha.
Oh.
Now your turn, Denaya.
Cupianos feliz. Cupianos feliz. Cupianos feliz. Cupianos feliz.
See, guys, we learned Spanish here.
Yup, gracias.
Con gusto. More than 1,000 students from the school district of Palm Beach County received awards from Cambridge Assessment International Education, part of the University of Cambridge. Community Conversations. Who has a story for us today? We can have... Oh, Delina. Delina has a story for us today.
Interesting.
Are you on here, Delina?
Is she here?
Alex, are you here?
Well, he's here. Welcome.
Hi, Alex. Your
Hello.
camera and your microphone are off.
Sorry, hold on.
Don't worry.
It's fine.
Bluetooth mode.
You guys.
Okay.
Whoa! He's back.
There he is.
My volume ain't working either.
He hasn't been on screen for what? A couple weeks now? How does it feel
All right.
to be out of the spotlight? I just got left on
So
red.
this is the Cambridge Award story, right?
Yes.
All right. So of the 1,182 Cambridge Awards, 3 were for top in the world, 7 for top in the country, and 3 were for highest achievement scores on the June 2021 exam series. The totals include students earning these accolades represent the following high schools: Alexander W. Dreyfus, Dreyfus School of the Arts, Atlantic Community High, Boca Raton Community High, John I. Leonard High, Jupiter Community High, Palm Beach Central High, Park Vista Community High, Seminole Ridge Community High, and Wellington Community High. Cambridge
Wow.
Awards celebrate the success of students taking coursework and examinations around the world. More than 1 million students study Cambridge international programs in more than 160 countries. The program is part of an internationally benchmarked program that allows students to earn college level credit in high school or advanced standing at university level, including the Fulbright Future Scholarship. For Community Conversations, I'm Alexander Blackwood.
Thank you, Alex. And I
Thank
see
you.
Delina's here. Hi, Delina.
There she is.
Oh,
What's up?
Nothing much.
sorry, hold on, my thing is still super.
Which one are you?
Well,
We will see you back in weather, Delina.
yep, we will. Sunny weather. Well, a former first kid is penning more books, and her name is Chelsea Clinton, daughter of former President Bill Clinton and former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, has written a story called Welcome to the Big Kids Club, what every older sibling needs to know. It comes out in September, around the same time she launches a nonfiction series titled Save the About the Animals Conversations.
Yes.
Mhm.
If you're a survivor of COVID-19, we need to hear from you. We want to document your personal struggles brought on by the coronavirus pandemic and are seeking survivors to be a part of our discussion on an upcoming show. Call 561 600 2576. Again, that is 561 600 2576 for more information. This segment is brought to you by Stewart and Shelby Development, which has been providing quality construction services for private clients, businesses, and various nonprofit agencies throughout Palm Beach County since 2006. The partners have more than 75 years' experience combined in the construction industry and have been a major contributor to the development and contracting industry in South Florida for 30 years. I would say, as usual, we leave the segment with the small fries doing their affirmation, but we're out of videos this week.
Yep. Next
So,
week.
Denaya, do you want to do an affirmation for us?
Oh, I will go to college. I will succeed. This is my promise. This is my creed.
Yes. Thank you.
I don't know the pledge. I don't remember the pledge, but I remember that affirmation. Very catchy. Well, KLP Mentoring Network is working to keep music education alive. Your donation of instruments can help local underserved schools get instruments they need for their band programs. Several students are benefiting from them, but we still need a few more pieces. Will you please look around your house for any musical instruments laying there collecting dust and donate it to a worthy cause? There is a child in elementary school who can benefit from it. It does not matter the condition. Remember, what's one man's junk can be a treasure to a child who has interest in the arts. Call or text 561 600 2575 and we will pick it up.
And now, our John Peters State Farm Insurance Black History moment with Denaya.
Oh my gosh. Ooh. Walter Payton Manning was a member of the famed Tuskegee Airmen and the only one known to be lynched as a prisoner of war. Born on May 3rd, 1920, in Baltimore, Maryland, he grew up in West Philadelphia. By the age of 9, Manning living with his uncle, Jacob Prescott, in Philadelphia. He loved to swim and grew up wanting to fly planes. Manning attended Howard University but did not graduate. In 1941, at the age of 21, Manning was working on a locker boy at the Philmont Country Club in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. 1 year later, in 1942, he tried to enlist in the United States Army Air Corps, but was rejected because of the condition called hammer toe. A hammer toe is a toe that is bent due to weakened muscle, causing the toe to curl under the foot. At the time, Manning was living again with his mother in West Powelton neighborhood of Philadelphia, desperate to get into the Army Air Corps. Manning elected to spend his savings to get surgery to repair his toe. He entered the Army Air Cadet training program at Tuskegee Airfield, Tuskegee, Alabama, on March 15, 1943. He graduated from the program as a second lieutenant and was assigned to the 332nd Firefighter Group, 301st Fighter Squadron on the U.S. Army Aircraft approximately 1 year after his successful toe surgery. Around that time, Manning proposed to his girlfriend, Dicey Thomas, but it is unknown if they ever married. In August 1944, Manning was the 301st Fighter Squadron were assigned to Italy. During his time in Italy, Manning flew 50 missions over German occupied Europe. During his final mission, Manning was in dogfight with Nazi fighter planes over Austria when his aircraft was shot down. Manning bailed out when he landed. He greeted by an angry mob, which captured, beat, and jailed him. He was imprisoned at the Nazi Luftwaffe Air Force Base near Linz. Austria was when angry town people, urged by Luftwaffe officers, dragged Manning outside and beat him while his hands were tied behind his back until he died. Manning, then 24, was considered lynched by Allied forces on Tuesday, April 3rd, 1945, about 1 month before the war in Europe ended. Manning is the only African American prisoner of war to have been lynched during World War II. His remains were recovered by U.S. troops after the war ended and American forces occupied Austria. No one was ever arrested for this war crime. Second Lieutenant Walter Payton Manning was reburied at the Lorraine American Cemetery and Memorial in France. Manning's family received the standard World War II compensation of $500 in the aftermath of his death. Walter Payton Manning was awarded 6 medals for his heroism, including a Purple Heart and the Congressional Gold Medal in 2007, posthumously. A research project about his incident led to the Austrian army placing a flag,
Commemoration.
commemoration flag in Linz at the location where Second Lieutenant Walter Payton Manning was murdered. And this has been the week of John Peters State Farm Insurance Black History Month. Whew.
Thank you so much, Tanaya.
Mhm.
Students, would you like to polish your communication skills? Would you like to be able to do what Tanaya just did? If so, Community Conversations is the place for you. You will learn to record, document, and produce material suitable for radio and television from industry professionals. Take it from me, Spanish is my primary language, and I am here practicing my English in community conversations. You will also learn breathing techniques to overcome your fear of public speaking, all while having fun. We are the only youth run medium for kids, by kids, and about kids, at least in South Florida. And we have fun as we learn. Not to mention, Community Conversations is a powerful tool for telling and preserving the local stories about kids. Give us a call at 561 600 2576 or email info@kopmn.org to learn how you can be a part of the team. Again, that is 561 600 2576 or email info@kopmn.org.
Hello, students. Tell us about your cool teachers who are going that extra mile to make learning fun. Text us your teacher's name in a sentence why they are deserving of the shout out, and we will recognize them on the show each week. Send your names to 561 600 2576.
If you like what you're seeing so far, please let us know by liking us, sharing the page with your contacts, and sending us a comment both on Facebook and Instagram. And now, we don't have videos for our sponsors, but we want to say thank you to our sponsors, to Amazon Hub, Home Depot, Habitat for Humanity, and John Peters State for insurance. We have been able to bring you community conversations as a sponsor from the sponsors. I'm sorry. Because of the sponsors' help, we have been able to come to you guys for 104 shows, consecutive shows. We have not missed a single week, and we are praying that we will not miss a single week, and we are determined to not miss a single week. So if you are interested in becoming a supporter, please call 561 600 2576. Again, that is 561 600 2576.
If you have plans for this weekend, Delina has an update on the weather. Delina? Oh, there she is. Oh,
Hi.
Hi.
hello again.
Hello, friends. As you plan for this weekend, make sure to leave lots of room to soak up some good weather.
If you're planning on heading out tonight, you're in for a treat. Mostly clear skies with the winds out of the east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Lows will be 72 degrees. Tomorrow, you can expect a few clouds from time to time, and for those of us who will be at the Lantana Airport for the Soaring Eagles field trip, we can expect a good day for flying. Gusty winds diminishing in the afternoon, and the high will be around 80 degrees. Winds will be out of the east at 20 to 30 miles per hour. As I said earlier, a great day for flying. Tomorrow night we will see a few clouds. The low will be around 73 degrees, and we can expect winds out of the east at 15 to 25 miles per hour. The sun will rise at 6:40 a.m. and sunset is at 6:23 p.m. Now, no need to wonder what Sunday will be like. Expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 81 degrees. Winds will be out of the southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. We should have partly cloudy skies Sunday night with a low of 73. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunrise is at 6:39 a.m. and sunset will be at 6:24 p.m. Until next time, that has been your weather from the Children's Services Council Weather Desk. Have a fun, warm, and safe weekend.
Thank you.
Thank
Lena.
you. So, a warm welcome to our friends who are joining us on KLP Minery Network or on Boca Raton Tribune's Facebook pages or on YouTube. As usual, shout out to our friends in Bahamas, Belize, Canada, Costa Rica, Jamaica, Japan, St. Vincent, Tobago, the UK, and the US Virgin Islands. Please remember to share community conversations on your social media pages. If you missed a show, you can find it on Boca Raton Tribune or on KLP Minery Network's Facebook pages. Do us a favor and follow us on KLPMN on Facebook, please.
Yes. Oh my god. Should students be allowed to change their gender identity at school without parental consent and even over the objections of parents? We want to know your thoughts. If you would like to be part of a discussion on an upcoming show, please give us a call at 561 600 2576. Again, that is 561 600 2576. You know, Danaya, I don't know if you've ever been a part of the show as a guest. Have you?
Yes, I did. I
Ooh,
was a guest as jury counselor for the KLP mentoring camp in last summer. Yeah, I was a guest.
how was that?
It was actually I was actually nervous because it was my first time being on the show talking,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I started being like the head of the show, the anchor, which I am now. So yeah, it's amazing. You just keep doing it. Just keep knocking.
Wow.
Were you a guest?
I was. That's how I started.
Hmm.
Came as a guest. It was in my old school for the pandemic. And I remember being on here and Mr. Siren was like, "Are you shy?" And I was like, "No, I am not shy. I am not scared." And he was like, "I can tell." And then he asked me to come back the next week, and now I'm here.
Hmm.
It's not scary, you guys, to be on the show. It feels more like a conversation with friends, and what better to spend your time with friends, you know? It doesn't feel like people are watching you, because I don't feel that way. At least I don't. What about you, Tanaya?
Hey, I don't know, but get scared and then you don't get scared anymore. So
Yes. And now we don't head over to Maui, Hawaii, where Tiara Mercy will introduce the next segment. And I won't ask Tiara to come on here. But we will talk a little bit about, you know, Mr. Maxwell's type of videos. We're going to take about, what, a minute? 2 minutes?
yep, it's a minute with Maxwell.
So what I've been hearing a lot, I don't know about you, but what I've been hearing from people around the world, from people on TikTok, from people basically online and here physical in Costa Rica, is that they say, oh, there's no reason to be grateful for anything. Oh, there's no reason for this. Life sucks. I should not be here. And, we have to keep in mind that our lives do not suck. There's other people's lives that are pretty bad right now. I don't want to bring this cloud of darkness, but it's something that has to happen because it is something that's happening right now. The Ukraine situation, right?
Yes, I do. It's been going on for a while now.
Yeah. It is truly terrible, and I can't believe that people would result in war and in fighting and in violence. But, hopefully the people there have a good enough future to
Yes.
continue, and hopefully they do okay. But, if you're ever wondering, why should I be grateful? Why this? Why should I look forward to the future if all these bad things are happening in the world? Well, I can easily at the top of my head give you 100 reasons why. We can count them. I can give you 100 reasons why. Okay?
Yep.
1, your friends. 2, your family. This can count as a counter in friends, but strangers smiling at you. My heart fills when I get a smile from someone that I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, oh, they smiled at me. It's a great feeling. 3, cute animals, because who doesn't love them? 4, eating your favorite meals. 5, going on vacation. 6, getting a car. 7, graduating from school. 8, the feeling of getting into something you love. For example, a sport, a hobby, university. 9, starting your dream job. 10, celebrating your birthday. 11, hanging out with the people you love. 12, getting promoted at work. 13, the feeling of your wishes coming true. 14, going to prom. 15, your first kiss. 16, getting married. 17, going on your first date. 18, new relationships. 19, finding true love. 20, celebrating New Year's Day. 21, dressing up on Halloween. 22, spending time with family on Thanksgiving. 23, waking up on Christmas morning. 24, watching new movies. 25, sleepovers. 26, relaxing inside on sleepy days. 27, sniffing flowers. 28, wrapping yourself in a warm blanket. 29. Drinking hot cocoa on a cold day. 30. Snowball fights. 31. Strategizing with your favorite person. 32. Jokes with your friends and family. 33. Finding your hidden talents. 34. Getting to know yourself better. 35. Swimming in the ocean and seeing the tropical fish. 36. Laughing when something's funny. 37. Listening to your favorite songs or your favorite albums. 38. Singing in the shower. 39. Sitting at home and hearing thunder. 40. Seeing a rainbow. 41. Watching the sunset. 42. Going on a roller coaster. 43. Going to an amusement park. 44. Climbing a tree. 45. Sitting near a bonfire with marshmallows. 46. Watching the sunrise. 47. Watching the stars. 48. Telling someone your life story. 49. Accomplishing a difficult task. 50. Proving that person wrong. 51. Watching that show for the first time. 52. Eating fresh baked cookies from the oven. 53. Making a wish from a shooting star. 54. Sleeping. Stepping on leaves. 55. The feeling of sunshine on your skin. 56. The first day of spring when weather is warm. 57. Traveling. 58. Exploring new places you've never been. 59. The feeling in your stomach when you see your crush. 60. Hearing somebody compliment you. 61. Seeing a dog excited to see you. 62. Watching a good movie. 63. Starting a new book or TV series. 64. Receiving a nice gift. 65. The hearing of somebody telling you, I love you. 66. Waking up from a long nap. 67. Sleeping in clean sheets. 68. Relief after letting out your emotions. 69. Telling somebody about something you love. 68. 70. Dancing like crazy. 71. Singing at the top of your lungs. 72. The smell of the rain. 73. Having a wonderful dream. 74. Trying new foods. 75. Meeting new friends. 76. Going on a road trip. 77. Meeting people that give good hugs. 78. People and the world who need to hear from you, who need to hear your impact, who need to see your impact. Because believe it or not, you are way bigger than just a simple speck in the universe. You have a huge impact on a lot of people. And that is another reason to be grateful for. 79. Nobody can ever replace you. 80. At least one person will be devastated if you're gone. So be thankful for that one person. Or many. 81. You're somebody's person. 82. People love and care about you. 83. You're going to be strong and confident when you believe in yourself, and that feeling is going to feel amazing. 85. Your future kids. It may be humans, it may be cats, it may be fish, it may be dogs. Kids. 86. Your future husband or wife. 87. How pain is temporary, but happiness is forever. 88. How you are worth way more than just your thoughts. 89. How you have done so much in your life when you think that you've done nothing. But in reality, you've made a huge impact on other people. 92. You're wonderful, talented, and amazing, if nobody has told you this yet. 93. Someday, you will look back and you will say to yourself, wow, I am grateful for myself. 94. There is so much more than you haven't done in life, and there are so many adventures waiting for you, and you should be grateful for that, because life is not boring per se, where you already know where is going to happen at the end of the story. You can't read ahead. You have so much to experience. 95. God gave you a reason to be here. 96. God isn't done with you. He isn't done with your journey. 97. Your parents love you no matter what. 98. Falling in love. 99. Going on vacation with your future family. And 100. Because Community Conversations thinks that you are amazing, and we are proud of how far you have gotten. And we do not want you to say, why am I not grateful for something, when you have 100 reasons why.
Now that is Amelia with a minute. A minute with Amelia. That is A Minute with Amelia. That's a great show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That was great. 100 things. 100 things. And all of that. That was great.
See, we still got motivation.
See, Ron can't even talk. Wow.
And as usual, the genius behind those videos you're seeing tonight. Well, not videos, but, the videos you will be seeing next week, is our illustrious cinematographer, Neil Noel, a proud product of KOP Mentoring Network and Atlantic High School, and formerly Village Academy. To find past community conversations, visit our YouTube channel and type in KOP Mentoring Network in the search bar. Again, that is KOP Mentoring Network in the search bar. And now, it is the time for Trending Now with Mr. John and Mr. Siron.
I'm about to go on. You need to be on. You need to check it on.
Hi.
Oh, brother John, what's going on? Hey, Anna, bring all four on, please. Bring Delina and Alex on, please.
I believe Delina's not here.
I guess Delina took off. She gave us the weather, and
she said, "Hey, I got my hair did. I know
She
she
got
was up to
blown
something.
away.
I knew she was up to something with that hairdo. Anyway, what's going on, John?
Man, a beautiful day. It's been a good week down here in South Florida. What about you?
Man. I don't know where to start. You should see us over here. Boy, let me just say, full disclosure, Neil is not here tonight. He's out tonight. And our show is produced by Anna, who is in Brazil. Thank you so much, Anna, for stepping in. And in fact, Anna was our original producer way back when we first started. And she trained Neil and sent him on his way. And Anna's filling it tonight. Thank you again, Anna. But as you can see, Amelia is the executive producer of tonight's show. Amelia, girl, we got so many texts tonight about your episode. It's like awesomeness. A minute with Amelia. That's one of your fan club members said that. Another one said, excellent read, Miss Strawn, especially your tenacity, your effort, and Amelia for the motivation that you're sharing with us. Another one said, young ladies on the move, especially during Women's History Month. Thank you. They keep coming in. And another one here said, let me just share them as they come in. Another one said, we may want to have the young ladies read 10 a week, 10 things that you're grateful for. And by the way, we have more than young ladies on the show. We have young men as well. So let me just correct you guys. We do have young men on the show as well. To be grateful and thankful should have been done in a weekly basis. Can you please include that as part of your segment, maybe 10 at a time, and invite viewers to add theirs to be read by the girls? As I said, we do have guys on the show as well. But anyway, Brother John, by the way, Amelia, John Maxwell is great. I love the brother, but he had nothing over you tonight. All right, save the text, please. Save the text. This is Mr. John and Mr. C-Ron's time, not Amelia's time. Anyway, Alex, look, man, all I ask of you, you know I have a birthday coming up in a few days like Mr. John, and all I ask of you, brother, is to share or will some of that bass in your voice with me, man. You just so cool. You so smooth. Can you promise me that, man?
Sure, yeah, I'll do that.
Listen to that. Sure can. Whatever you want. Anyway, Denia.
Yes.
Delina's not here, but are you going to be at the daddy-daughter dance on Friday, on Saturday next week? You are, huh? Okay. Good. That's good. Do you know the purpose of a father-daughter dance?
Yes.
Amelia, why do you think we have a daddy-daughter dance?
To have them have more bonding time.
A little louder, please.
To have bonding time with them.
To have monitor them. Okay. Why do you think we have a father-daughter dance, Denia?
She did say bonding.
Bonding. Oh, thank you.
Bonding with father and daughter.
Very good. What about you, Strawn?
I did go to one before.
Yeah, I know you did. What do you think?
To like have some time together and like dancing. Cause it's a dance.
Time together dancing. Brother John, tell them the purpose of a father-daughter dance.
Father-daughter dance. Man, I'm not a father, so I can't say that I've actually been to one. But yeah, I think it is a time for fathers to basically take their daughters on a date to kind of, show them how they should be courted, how they should be treated, so that when the daughters, grow old enough to date, that they've, been to these different events with their father and they know what to expect and know how their self-worth and how they should be treated. That's my take on it.
Hey, you're right on, man. You are right on. Denia didn't tell you guys, but on Saturday, March 12th, from 5 to 8 p.m., we're going to have the father-daughter dance at the Airport Hilton Hotel. Anyway, it's an airport, one of the hotels on Australian Avenue in West Palm Beach. If you're interested in going, please, sir, please, ma'am. Well, no, sir, please, ma'am, give us a call at 561-600-2576, 600-2576, and we'll make sure you and your dad have a space. Now, some of you may say, well, what if my dad's not around, or what if there's not a man in my life to take me? Don't worry, we have police officers from several agencies who are standing by. Remember the last time we went a few years ago, we had cops from West Palm, from Delray Beach, and I think there were some from Riviera Beach who were on hand to make sure these young ladies had a great time. So we have quite a few cops and firefighters this year who are standing by to make sure you have a grand time. And Delina, the texts still keep coming in. Good evening, everyone. Denia, you are amazing. Thanks to Lieutenant Morrison. Thank you, Lieutenant Morrison. And bonding time, Amelia. Great. Wonderful. So we look forward to having you guys this coming Saturday night, though, 5 to 8 p.m. at the Airport Hilton. No, that wouldn't be the Hilton. So it's the one on Okeechobee Boulevard in West Palm. Now, Denia, I think you and Neil have been conspiring. And John, you're an attorney, so you listen to this carefully, please. Yes. I think they've been conspiring because, I have videos of you dancing on that stage Tuesday night. I told you I'd be bringing them out, okay? Anyway, we still have a few more weeks, especially when you're out. And you're going to Daytona soon, if I recall, right? So we will see those videos of her on the stage. But anyway, Delina, deny all the D's. Strawn, you mentioned Chelsea Clinton. Do you know who Bill Clinton is?
Yes, he's the president of the United States. Well, former president.
Former president. Okay, at least you know. That's good. Now, getting back to Delina again. Oh, yeah. Okay. By the way, Amelia, Robert Dodd just called in and said that you missed his birthday at 91. What happens at 91? So he said you went from 90 to 92. What about 91? So think about that. But
90.
my favorite,
I would say community conversations.
Listen to community conversations. Okay. All right. Anyway, I like number 59 and 61. I like those two. There were a few more, but we'll get into that down the road, a few more weeks. So, Delina, you left Amelia singing. You left her hanging when she was singing the birthday song.
No, I sing.
I heard you. Yep. But if you guys could only hear her before the show, guys, she was saying how, we have a skeleton crew tonight and how I'm going to be a ride or die. So much for friends, huh? That's all right. Anyway, Amelia, for that bravery and for your bravery and for carrying your partner in crime while our videos are down tonight, for that, we have a surprise for you, okay? You stay tuned. Stay tuned for more details. We have a surprise coming down the road because you hung in there tonight when Strawn said, look, I can't let him sing. let him hear me sing.
Yeah, Denia, we got to sing Goodnight Sweetheart at the end.
Well, hey, you hang around. We might just have you do that. No. You know what? We're going to have to do that later on. Anyway, great show again. Thank you, folks. Even though I beat up on you guys, we beat up on you after the show every week, but thank you for hanging in there, and thank you for your hard work and hustle. All right? See you shortly after the show.
Okay.
So, Brother John, uh, thanks to our partners at Inner City Youth Golfers, we took 17 young people to the Honda Classic at PGA last Saturday, and we had a great time. I mean, we had a wonderful time. The aspiring golfers got to see the behind the scene operations. They saw the media center, they saw the press room. They were in the where the interviews are done once the golfers leave the course, and I think the highlight for them was the Tire Kingdom Village, where they had face painting, and in fact every last one had their face painted, and lots of activities and giveaways for them. This week I heard from grandparents, and one parent in particular, and a teacher called to say how the kids enjoy themselves. But one teacher even said, she thanked us for the impact. We don't hear this too often, but one teacher said, how we had such impact on this one student. Apparently, let's use David as this kid's name. David, he's a frequent traveler to the principal's office. And in fact, as she said, he has a special seat in that office, but after some interventions over the last 3 or 4 weeks, he had a great week. We did a contract with him a few weeks ago, and they showed him the contract last 3 weeks. Remember the contract you have, and they reminded him of his obligations, and he straightened up. And for the last 3 weeks, they said you could hear a pin drop with a young man. No visits to the principal's office. It just shows, apparently contracts have some, bearing on some people. It was very good feeling to know that we had such impact on that young man. In fact, okay, grandma just sent a text. She said that he thinks he's a celebrity now. He had a chance to be on TV, so he's a celebrity now. That's all right. You keep it up. You'll be on Community Conversations pretty soon, telling your story. So, what's the latest with Mr. Putin and Ukraine? I saw a post recently where
hot off the press. I don't know what you were about to say, but I will say that this is hot off the press. Regarding some of the targets, I guess, that were part of the targeted strike from Russia. And so apparently the United States and its allies, have accused Russia of attacking Ukraine's largest nuclear power plant and putting the lives of millions of Europeans at risk of radiation fallout.
Really?
So as we know, and this was fresh 30 minutes ago, as it relates to the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. And so Russia's claiming that it's a Ukrainian sabotage group was responsible for setting fire to a nearby training facility. So, it's, these targeted strikes, and unfortunately, there are some nuclear power plants in Ukraine. And so that could have been disastrous. I think they were able to contain the fire, to keep it from really getting towards the one of the largest nuclear power plants in Ukraine. So it's kind of hard to tell, right? So Russia is saying that it's not them, it's an internal type hit, and of course Ukraine said it is them, and so now who do we believe? So it's So an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council after photos of a burning building sent shockwaves around the world about a possible nuclear disaster. So I think everybody kind of was on edge for a good moment there. And so that's definitely not a good feeling. And that could have impacted the lives of millions of Europeans. If
So
that were to have taken place, and the radiation from the nuclear power plant would have gotten into the sky,
atmosphere, yeah.
and
So
so in the
the plan has
atmosphere,
not been broached then.
and then we're all connected. The world is all connected, and it's amazing how something can happen that even if you aren't living in Russia or living in Ukraine, it can impact you. So yeah, they Ukraine and Western countries are saying that there's no question that Russia was responsible for firing the projectile, and so it's needless to say, more will come out of that. I'll say stay tuned to the news out there if you're interested in it. I imagine CNN and others will be covering this for the duration of the evening, but it is something that I noticed, and definitely not a good look.
I saw a post recently where a group of women were loading, or rather making cocktail bombs, and they were vowing to defend their country at any cost. That's what I'm talking about. Those people they believe in their country, and they're not going to give up. It's a crying shame. But oof, we may not have given much thought though, John. But the deepening economic crisis is profoundly impacting our children, youth, and families. Earlier, I heard the young people talking about the impact of this Ukraine situation on kids. As you can imagine, the effects are rippling through the multiple contexts in which children and youth are situated, and within the nuclear family, stresses such as job losses, home foreclosures, loss in family savings, income, all these factors place a strain on parental relationships, on the family as a whole. Not to mention, for already low-income families, the shock may even be more severe with basic needs such as food insecurity or food scarcity. Same thing, healthcare and shelter going unmet. Tonight, I've decided to ask my friend Dr. Naomi Cobb to hang out with us to answer some of these questions that our young people have been asking. As Amelia said earlier, we hear from you throughout the week, and these are some of the questions that we have been asked. We'll try to answer as many of your questions, young people. We'll try to answer as many of your questions tonight until Neil cuts us off. But thank God, John, Neil's not here tonight, so we don't have to worry about that. But thank you for being with us tonight, Doc. How are you?
I am doing pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. Great. As we've been saying, this economic state of our economy right now, and to add to that, the crisis in Ukraine is causing a lot of stress on our young people. If you will, what does this economic downturn, what does this really mean for children, youth, and their families?
I really believe that as children see their parents stressing, and they hear their friends' parents stressing about how to put food on the table, how expensive things are, little things that they may have used to go and pick up, which was no second thought, they aren't getting those things anymore. And I think having the conversation about economics in a family is very vital. It's very important, even down to, let's go to the dollar store and get some things. Now it's $1.25, right? So we can have a conversation about that. And it's an age appropriate conversation that we want to have with our kids. I have a friend who is an attorney up in West Palm, and it was the coolest thing for her on the weekends to give her kids $5 and take them to the dollar store. And what she said, they can get in there and ball out, buy everything that they want for their $5. So it was teaching them how to shop. Now it's a conversation that she can have with her 6, 7, 8-year-old and say things are not $1 anymore. They're now $1.25, right? So you can have that kind of conversation with them and age appropriate. But I think that as kids are in middle school and high school, it's a conversation that we have to have with them on a much greater level so that they have an understanding of the cost of gas, not just telling them that it's high, but let's look at some of the world conditions as to why it's high. Kids may not understand that the price of gas is not just the gas itself, but also the taxes that are added to the price of gas. So a gallon of gas may be $4. The actual gas might only be $2.75, but the taxes that are added to the gas now makes it $4 a gallon. And so, and I think it does something else. When we talk about literacy, I think we talk about financial literacy with our families in ways that can be very clever in talking about money and how we spend money and why we spend money. Even talking to our kids about the mortgage payment, talking to them how we bought this house, how much money we needed to do this, how we manage the mortgage or the rent and the lights and the gas and the food, having them help make budgets, looking at where do you think we could spend less money. I think kids like being involved and how we involve them, but it can be very stressful. That's why I say that I think that when we have the conversations within our family, I think it takes some of the stress away. I think it makes them a financial partner in the family. I don't care if they're 4 years old, as a financial partner, right? So if you wear a little pair of shorts on Saturday to go in the yard and play and they didn't get too dirty, maybe you'll say, well, to save some money on water, how about wearing those same shorts to go play in the yard tomorrow, right? So there are clever ways that we can take the stress away from families and from children. Um, but I think on another side, we should begin reading with our children in very clever ways about the economics and how we manage economics, even nationally, what causes the rise and fall in prices. And there are so many books that address that. So that's my belief. It's some of the things that I did when my daughters were much younger. And it doesn't matter whether you're renting, and particularly right now that a lot of families who are renting, they're facing massive 35, 40% increases in their rent. The high possibility that they may have to move. But where do you move to? To another place that's even higher? So I think it's vital that we talk within our families, have that conversation at the table, go online and look at different things together as a family. Um, I think that will take away a little bit of that stress. Families now may not be able to, I know they're not going on as many field trips as they used to, but what about finding ways to travel even within your own community? Finding ways to have fun locally, going on a picnic, you know, uh, taking community walks to find, who has added something new to their house and see if they can find it. Like the neighbor down the street just took off their roof and put a metal roof on, right? And point certain things out to your kids. And I think that would be really fun for kids to keep their minds occupied and keep the stress away from them a little bit.
I will say that that is
John,
definitely
John, before you go, we're getting my text monitor here is just burning up, Doc. Folks want knowledge deep. They want to know who is this? Who is this Dr. Cobb? So, Doc, my apology. Hey, don't beat me up for it, but they're coming in right and left. Who is Dr. Cobb? Word up. Is she a minister? Well, tell them who you are, Doc. Wow.
Well, I am not a minister by no stretch of the imagination. I'm a cultural anthropologist, and what I study.
You're a cultural who?
Anthropologist.
And since we work with kids, why don't you tell us what that is?
An anthropologist is someone who studies many things. There are scientific ways to look at things, and we are researchers. And so we research certain subject matters. There are medical anthropologists who study how medicines work on our bodies and what regions of the world we come from, and whether or not a certain drug will work on people that are European or African or otherwise. But I'm a cultural anthropologist. I actually study cultural groups, not necessarily where you come from in terms of the country or the nationality, but I study groups of people like you all in this community conversation as a cultural group. So I might be asked to study this community conversation group, wondering why do you all come together? What's your common core values? What are you trying to accomplish? And I will engage you in that kind of conversation. So that's what I am. I have studied around the world. I lived with the Blackfoot Indian in Montana for about 3 years. I was in the Peace Corps, but stateside. And then I've lived in Latin America, in the Colombian area, in an area called San Andreas Island. And that was a cultural group that I studied there because there are a lot of slaves that got off the slave ships and connected with the Boricua Indians in that area and created an island there. If you've never been to Colombia, if you do go to San Andreas area. Some of the best food you've ever eaten in your entire life is there. And my family's Bahamian. I was born in Miami, but I was educated in Miami, and ultimately went to school both stateside and did some study outside of the United States as well. I had 2 daughters. My oldest daughter just passed away in October 2021 from an underlying seizure disorder. So that is real in the forefront of my mind always about that. But she enjoyed the work that I did, changing cultures and changing conversations and engaging community. So most all of the work that I do now is in her honor. And people keep asking me if I'm retired. I don't know. I don't know what that looks like yet. I know what the retirement check looks like, but I don't know that I'm done with learning. I love art. So all the art behind me is art. I love jazz. I love music. And I have a collection of art from around the world in my home. I intend to actually have people over soon. I just moved to East Boynton about a year ago, and still isn't finished with the house. It's a 1948 house, and so there's a lot of cool things about it. But then it's also a lot of uncool things about it that we
Well,
need.
Doc, we can't give them everything. Let them tune into community conversation, because one question was, see, Ron, why is she just coming on community conversations? You know what? We're gonna make sure she's a regular. Hey, you know, like the Tom Joyner show, they have what's the guy's name? What's the guy used to come on every Tuesday? You got Roland Martin and the other one.
Oh yeah, yes,
John,
yeah.
John. Who knows? But anyway, brother John, you were saying.
Oh, I just wanted to, your comment about including children in conversations about money is I thought was interesting. I will say, I'm just thinking of my childhood and in growing up, and so in what conversations I was or was not a part of. So I thought that was interesting, and I want to say that I thought that's definitely a good nugget that you shared. But also I kind of want to pivot a little about the notion of high poverty rates are associated with increased rates of family conflict, child neglect and abuse, and intimate partner violence.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts on this and how poverty can kind of play a role in that?
Poverty in and of itself is not just a lack of money. That may be where it starts, but it's also a lack of integrity on other people's parts that have put people in a poverty situation. It's also a self-esteem issue. There's a lot of guilt sometimes in families and in parents who can't provide enough. There could have already been underlying behavioral health issues in the family. Some of our families are conceived in violence. So having that conception in violence, oftentimes those kids grew up in violence and not really understand the difference between nonviolence and violence in their home. So growing up in a poverty situation is it is in and of itself a medical and behavioral health issue. It's a social construct that people really don't understand what poverty really is. It's not just not having enough money. It's not just any one thing, but it's about access. And when access is denied to certain people, violence happens because a person feels not a part of a society or not a part of a community because they don't have access, because everything appears that you need money to be a part of it. Um, I touched on earlier about how high rents are right now. It's tragic, and families are suffering a great deal around where they're going to live, how they're going to feed their families, and that has an effect on family violence. If it's been there a little bit, it's even greater now. If a conflict happens, we don't know how to resolve it, and we will resort to violence sometime. Out of an abundance of caution, I would like for families to reach out for help, for behavioral health help, mental health help. I need for our kids to feel safe. I need to make sure that our kids feel that there is someone in school that they can talk to and feel safe talking to them. But more than that, I think that we have to have eyes to see and to hear when our kids are in need. We can't just make assumptions, but if we know that a kid is coming to school and they have lint in their hair and they haven't brushed their hair, there could be a possibility that child doesn't have water at home. It's a possibility that they may not have lights at home. It could be that they're living in unsafe conditions. So poverty has a profound effect on behavioral health, not just within their parents, but within those children. And children learn from what they see and from what they hear.
You said you have a great characteristic of some of those kids, but just remember, outside may look clean, but inside of that child is burning.
Mhm.
How do you identify that in that student?
You know, a person who may be an instructor or an influencer of that child may have to check their own consciousness around how they feel about poverty. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
So if
Mm-hmm.
we're going to see ourselves here and everybody else here, we may not have a consciousness to help that person, but we have to see that person in all their divineness. We have to see them in all their in a way that we can move beyond what we physically see in kids and be able to help them. Um, so if we have teachers or community influencers who don't see a need to help a child because they just don't deal with a poor child, that's pretty tragic in itself. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
important
Mm-hmm.
that we check those in our community and check ourselves. How do we feel about people that are poor? How do we feel about those that are without? And if we're developing certain behaviors um, around those people, I don't think that we're going to be quite helpful to help them overcome that level of poverty.
Yeah. Speaking of overcoming level of poverty, Doc, how many pairs of shoes you have?
Now, I think that's a very personal question.
Well, I need your help. I'm going somewhere with this.
You're going somewhere with that?
Yes.
Okay.
You told me you want to help me, right?
What kind of shoes are we describing?
Shoes that you wear on your feet. You know, I need you and your friends and your family and all the members of the community who are listening. Lieutenant Morrison, the firm of Franklin and Franklin, and all the folks out there who have been just eager to help us over the years.
Yes.
To help. We're trying to collect 50 pairs of shoes.
Well,
For those in need of shoes to get to work in school.
Well, I will tell you that I have more shoes than I need.
I know. Why do you think I asked?
and I will make sure that I donate some of those shoes that I do not wear, recycling them to others so that they can have those shoes, clothes. So I think that that's going to be really important. That's a good work that you're doing to get shoes to kids.
Sounds good. KOP Mentor Network has partnering with the Mu Rho Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, John, to make sure there's no one in this village go without a pair of shoes. Now, some of you have been asking us, why are we sending shoes to Canada? I mean, to Haiti, or rather South Africa, when there are people here in our community who need shoes. To which I'll humbly respond, send them to us. If you know someone who needs shoes, send them to us, and Dr. Cobb or I will make sure, we'll gladly get them the shoes and socks and toiletries they need. But for now, for the month of March, we need you to look into your closets and pull them out. By the way, this project is spearheaded by Shamari Caesar, a graduating senior at Atlantic Community High School. That's his senior year project. And again, we're partnering with the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority chapter in the Glades. This is part of their Shoes to Souls or Souls to Shoes campaign. And again, you can drop them off at Amazon Hub, downtown Delray Beach, or call 561-600-2576. That's 561-600-2576. Doc, we look forward to having you on the show again pretty soon. Thank you again, as usual.
Thank you so much. Look forward to it. Nice to meet everyone. Thank you.
All right. So, Brother John, quick question. You remember a former politician and attorney general named Robert Barr?
Name definitely sounds familiar.
Well, you probably recall he was on a hot seat this week after he was accused of abusing his position as attorney general by essentially acting as Trump's personal lawyer, targeting his political enemies while cutting breaks for allies like Flynn and Roger Stone. Well, Lester Holt from, I think it's NBC Nightline, Dateline, one of those lines that Lester Holt show, he pushed back against those charges, saying that he was not basically a gopher for Trump. And the media constantly went out with this story. He was just going off. Now, what are your thoughts on that? You've been following that?
Not a whole lot, to be quite frank. I do recall his involvement, and kind of how he was associated with former President Trump. But yeah, I have not actually kept up with some of the current issues with him.
Yeah, well, stay tuned, because Brother Barr is going to be not only, it's just the beginning, because the committee, the committee investigating the former president and his affairs, they're going to be interviewing him in the coming weeks. So that's a lot's going to be coming out.
More to come with that.
What was that?
I was just saying more to come.
Oh, more to come. Yes.
Yeah.
Just been handed this here. Some of you probably remember the legendary, thank you, Isaac Knight of the famed Highwayman show. Well, Mr. Knight transitioned recently at the age of 80, and just a few weeks after he appeared in the annual Jetson Highwayman show. And it was right here in Palm Beach County. For years, John, Mr. Knight, by the way, was from Fort Pierce, and he was battling a series of illness over the last several years. And the Highwaymen, not sure if you heard about them, but they were known for traveling State Road A1A, that's Federal Highway back then, and other Florida roads back from the 50s through the 70s. And they would do that to sell their artwork out of their cars for as little as $20. I think there were 26 original Highwaymen. 26, okay, I'm being told there are 26. They were inducted in the Florida Arts Hall of Fame in 2004. But it was just an interesting story. So, yeah, I'm being told, 26. Thank you. His passing leaves just 8. There are 8 surviving. I'm told there are 8 surviving highwaymen that are left. But very interesting story. If you get a chance to check it out, make sure his name is Knight. Last name is Knight, but Isaac, Isaac Knight, on the Florida Highwayman. Everyone should be familiar with that story. Shout out to the law firm and consulting firm of Franklin and Franklin. They just told us, I got you 50 pairs of shoes. So I got to raise 20 more. So I guess we can make it a goal of 100 pairs of shoes now. That's what I'm talking about. And Lieutenant Morrison, I know she has 30. So that's 50 and 30. That's 80 pairs. Before you know it, we might have 50 pairs of shoes to go. Speaking of Lieutenant Morrison, we need young people. If you are between the ages of 6 and 17 years old, on March 19th, you have a chance to get free tennis lessons, prizes, and breakfast at the Jimmy Doc Horn Tennis Center in Gaines Park. Okay, that'll be from 9 a.m. till 12 noon. If you're in the South County area, you're interested in attending, give us a call. We can arrange for transportation. Just wear comfortable tennis shoes and comfortable clothing, and the rest will be provided. You'll receive a racket, you'll receive the ball, and you'll receive breakfast. Okay? Again, 561-625-7576. And finally, we need to hear from our teens about what's on your mind. If you're a young person, if you're a teen listening, please give us a call so we may know what's affecting you in school and in your community. We have a few groups around the community who want to help you, but they need to know what your needs are. Okay? So give us a call. If you have a few minutes to spare, give us a call and we will arrange that. On that note, Brother John, what else you have on your plate?
I'll be around here. We have a couple of sporting events here, so I'll be around here for the weekend. And yeah, we roll right into spring break. Spring break for the students. Employees don't get a spring break, so I'll be using that time to catch up on some work and to get some other things done. So yeah, what about you?
Well, tomorrow morning from 9 to 12, our aviation program is going to be at Lantana Airport. We meet on the first Saturday of the month, and we have, for the last 2.5 years, much of our programming was on virtually. So this is going to be the first time we're actually going out. So the students will demonstrate much of what they've been learning. We have a pilot coming in from our instructor, is a pilot and a student at Emory-Riddle in Daytona. So he'll be flying in, and the kids get a chance to track him as he flies in on the computer. And we're going to do some, going to have some fun. They're going to do some touch and goes down to Boca Airport and back. So they're looking forward to that.
Nice.
On top of that, I guess it's time for us to sing "Good Night, Sweetheart." You got it, bro.
No, man. I'm about
I
to do like
hate to see
Denia.
you, but why does it go? I hate to leave you, but I really must say, oh, good night, sweetheart. Good night. Anna, take it away, Anna. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to.
Oh wow, I'm alone. Well, I don't know if Amelia is here yet, so yeah. Well, we'll wait for her.
Well, I guess you stuck with me, Delina. No, Delina, deny it. Anyway, strong. You stuck with me. So, you gonna sing?
No, you got it. You can sing.
Can't
'Cause
go.
you in the choir, you can sing.
I'm in the choir. You didn't have to put my business out there like that.
Everybody already know that.
Anyway, um, when Tiger Woods conquered the golf world a couple of decades ago, it spurred a wave of minority participation in a game historically close to people of color. That way, folks, still has not hit the sports highest levels, but some are making inroads, including African American golfer Christopher Everett, who has been working to change the landscape of a sport that lacks diversity. Now, Mr. Everett is a former athlete. He played basketball, he played soccer, he played many sports. And he's pursuing his passion as he continues his quest to identify all the Black owned golf courses in the country. And for a sport that has always been overwhelmingly white, that is a huge deal. Tonight we have in the studio with us Mr. Everett. And thank you, sir, for being with us. What's going on, brother?
Good evening, and thank you for having me. I really appreciated the show and getting the chance to watch and the community conversation. Denai, awesome job. Amelia, I know she's not on, but really terrific show. Getting a chance to watch it backstage. But thank you for having me.
Pleasure's ours. Pleasure's ours. Let's get straight to the Go For It is a powerful story. I had a chance to read your book. You also have a workbook, and a powerful story about a young man named Tyler who followed his father's footsteps to become an athlete and eventually take over the father's and the family's business, neither of which he enjoyed. What inspired, if you will, what inspired you to pen this book?
Yeah, so it's like what you were just mentioning. It's a sport that really has not seen a whole lot of diversity, and so really it starts with representation. So over the past couple of years during this pandemic, like many of you, found myself at home a little bit more, watching TV, streaming services, things like that. I just realized I didn't see a whole lot on TV that represented me, my upbringing, my family life, family dinners together. I heard the previous speaker, Dr. Cobb, talking about finances. We talked about finances at the dinner table, and some things you're taught, some things you're caught, but just that family time is so important. Family trips, taking bike rides with my dad, those types of things I just didn't see on TV, and so I decided instead of watching things that didn't represent me, maybe I'd start writing a bit. When I started doing so, um, it was neat. I really enjoyed the writing experience. I lost my father about 7 years ago, and so writing the book allowed me to really draw on some of those memories I had with him and things that we've done together, things that we've done with my family. And so that just kind of one thing led to the next. The next thing I knew, I had a book on my hands, and golf came into play because I enjoy playing the sport. I picked it up about 10 years ago, and just enjoy getting out. And I thought about some of the relationships that I've been able to build on the golf course, work related, friends, things like that. My uncle actually, who's lives there in Delray Beach, put my first set of used clubs in my hand that I used to get started playing. And so it just really came together really nicely. The representation from what I saw on TV, the lack of representation that I see when I'm on the golf course, and it just came together in a nice book. I like it a ton, and I've gotten some good feedback about it. And more specifically, you asked about Tyler's story and those types of things. It really mirrored my story of my father. Growing up, he's from Eastern North Carolina, so he's a big Michael Jordan and Chicago Bulls fan. And so naturally,
Stop
I
one
picked
minute.
up.
Hold 1 minute. Hold 1 minute. Anna, bring John in, please. You mentioned this North Carolina. One of the things we do in community conversation is reunite people. And this
Wait,
is the
wait,
second
wait,
time.
wait. You didn't let me know he went to North Carolina Central University.
Yes,
so
he.
Eagle Pride, Eagle Pride.
That
I
was a
played
surprise,
tennis
bro.
at
That
North
was a
Carolina
surprise.
Central. Yeah, I was a tennis student athlete at North Carolina Central. So
Awesome.
yeah, I was there
What years
from
were you there? If you don't mind me
2005
asking.
to 2009.
Okay, got you. I graduated in 02.
Okay.
I
It's
played
always
football for Central, actually.
Got it, man.
Yeah.
Good deal, man. See, two former NCCU student
Yeah.
athletes on the platform.
You're right. Over the last couple of weeks, we've had a few on.
It's a great university.
We're no ordinary barnyard fowl. That's how we go.
Hey, Eagle Pride.
Yeah, you were about to say, Chris.
Yeah, but I well, so yes, so being from North Carolina, he's a Michael Jordan fan, loves the Chicago Bulls, and so growing up, I was a Bulls fan, and basketball, baseball and basketball were two of my first sports, and I played basketball, but I wasn't, in love with it. I was always curious about football, and he was not big on the sport, and was concerned about the fact it's a contact sport and getting hurt. And finally, in the sixth grade, when we moved from New York to North Carolina, I got him to let me give it a try. Tried out, didn't make it. Ended up playing at the Boys and Girls Club, and that started my football career, which ended in North Carolina Central University, and afforded me an education that I didn't have to pay back, and those types of things. I didn't even think about my own relationship with my son. So of course, I get him to watch the world champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers with me, and he could care less about football. He's more interested in basketball and some of the video games and things. And so those things all really came together again nicely, and being able to write the book and drawing on some of my personal experiences and be able to pen a story that creates that narrative.
So was writing a book a goal for you?
A goal? No, I never thought I would sit down and write a book. Quite still amazed and surprised to this day that I've actually completed it, and not only did the book but also did the workbook. The workbook took that from an idea my son during the summer. Of course, as all kids, you have to continue to do your reading, your writing, keep your skill sets sharp. And so I'd given him different people to look up, read a little bit about, and write a story, write his own essay. And so that's really what the workbook does. I highlight a lot of African American trailblazers in the sport of golf, African American trailblazers in corporate America and other lines of business, other athletes, and it gives the reader a couple, 2-3 lines about the person, encourages them to do their own research on that person, and then write an essay in the book. So have both of those. And to your question, never thought or set out that would be what I would do. I'm a 20-year banker by trade, and that's typically where I've spent my time, my energy is. But this book and this workbook and the foundation I've started has been a really exciting time for me.
So how do you think social media is changing the golf industry?
Wow, great question. And I think it's very similar to what we're doing right now. And so community conversations, you have representation from across the country and internationally. And it's the same thing for golf. It allows individuals to see more golf on TV, to see a little bit more behind the scenes, connects individuals. As I started working on this book and doing some research, I was able to join some Facebook golf groups, and so therefore connecting with individuals across the country and some of their experiences playing golf and learning about the different things that they do or the different courses in different areas. So social media plays a big part in all of our everyday lives, and it also is helpful for the game of golf. Unfortunately, it doesn't help to accelerate as much as we need to see it, diversity in the game. And so when you look, you still do not see a lot of representation of different nationalities, different backgrounds, but we're working to improve that.
That's great. Mhm. So, according to the National Golf Foundation, only 3% of recreational golfers are African American, and that drops to 1.5% when it comes to competitive golfers. While the PGA Tour has three African Americans, the Ladies PGA Tour has just one member. What do you think needs to be done to get more Black youth interested in golf?
Yeah. And so another one. So it really, again, it comes back to representation. Even the reason that I even started to sit down and write is the representation there. Also, we have to understand and accept more of the history of golf and understanding that it wasn't until 1961 that the whites only clause was removed, which would allow African Americans and others to play the game competitively at the professional level. It was 1975 when Lee Elder was the first African American to play the Masters, and then another 15 years or so, 1990, when the Masters had its first African American member. So you have this history that's not that far back, and that's something that's talked about in the book. As a young man, Tyler does his research, he learns these things, and it's when you think about segregation or Jim Crow, you feel like it's so long ago. But when you think about it in terms of golf and that segregation, it wasn't really that long ago that those things have happened. And so we have to learn and accept that. And then the other pieces are, while it's widely accepted, you can play. In many cases, it's cost prohibitive to play. It's a very expensive sport to get into and play competitively. When you think about being able to afford entry into different tours or tournaments, your travel, your lodging, all of those things that go into it, it really adds up. And if you don't have the personal financial backing to do it or sponsors to cover it, it can make it fairly difficult to maintain and be able to have success at that level.
Hmm. So,
Yeah, and I would say as a tennis player, I definitely kind of understand, what you're
Mhm.
saying as far as access, money, since both are similar as country club sports that
Right.
have for a long time, have not been available for us, and by the time we have the financial resources, we're grown, we're adults, and so being able to learn the game at a young age and develop is something that's critical, especially if you want to play at the highest level. And
Right.
so, but kind of switching gears, tell us a little bit about your foundation.
Yeah, so it's the RLE Go For It Foundation, and RLE is my father's initials, Ronald Lee Everett, and so he's really been the inspiration, the driving force behind a lot of what I'm doing as it relates to Go For It and why the initials are there. But the foundation is really focused on creating that diversity in golf, not necessarily at the professional level. It's not our goal to create more professional golfers. I think with that exposure, that will be something that happens. But ultimately, our vision is to make golf accessible for all youth, and our mission really hinges on three important components. Number one is exposure, exposing more diversity to the game of golf, children of color. Secondly, is personal and professional development. As an individual that's been in corporate America for 20 plus years, there's a lot of little things that you learn along the way that you're like, man, I wish I'd have known that earlier. And so I've got a terrific board with a diverse skill set that we're going to leverage, as well as our network, to be able to share those experiences with our youth and prepare them for their next stage in life. And then lastly, going to be scholarship awards. We're going to always award equal number of scholarships to students pursuing college and universities, as well as trade schools. Trade schools is something that I think is a huge opportunity for our youth. We prepare students for college readiness, which is important. But as we all know, not every student wants to go to college. That's not their goal or their passion. And they could be overlooking or missing an opportunity to learn a trade, to earn a certificate, and be able to be an entrepreneur, be able to earn a nice living doing something that they do enjoy doing. And so we're going to bring awareness to trade schools, trade opportunities, new careers in clean energy, things of the future that are going to help our kids to be successful. And the way that this all comes back full circle with golf is the networking aspects that golf presents. And so you're on the golf course, you never know. I've played a lot by myself, I've played a lot with others, but you end up meeting people of all different backgrounds, different experiences. And you never know where that connection can take you. In addition to that, the golf industry as a whole, there's so much opportunity within the golf industry, whether you are working on the apparel or the equipment side. As we mentioned, golf ownership, which is rare, but there's huge opportunity there. Nice golf courses have executive chefs, business managers, behind the scenes things that go on, that there again, huge opportunities to earn a living. Golf course superintendents are, highly respected individuals. They're responsible for what you see, that experience you have visually when you step onto the golf course, and they get to create that. Those are things that our kids can do and be a part of. And the last thing I'll mention along those lines is even down to not just the equipment used to play the game, but the equipment used for the landscaping. You have only a handful, very few, one or two in companies that make the lawnmowers or the equipment that is used to maintain the golf courses. Why can't our kids be in that industry, create that machine, create that tool? So those are things that we want to be able to introduce and expose our children to.
It's to my understanding that you're planning to do some great things down here on April 30th in South Florida. Can you fill us in?
Yeah, so we're really, really excited about that. It's going to be our inaugural golf tournament weekend, and so it's going to be in at Martin Downs Golf Club, which is one of 9 Black-owned golf courses in the nation. And so you think about the number of golf courses that we have, only 9 are Black-owned. This was owned by Mr. Stanley Campbell. Purchased it last year and had a chance to reach out to him and connect, and understood his story, understand what they're looking to do there at that golf course, again, with diversity. And so really aligns with our foundation. And so on that Friday, April 29th, we're going to have a group beginner lesson for youth. It's going to be at no cost. For adults, it will be a $20 charge, but you'll be able to come out. And we have a PGA Pro that's going to give some basic golf lessons on Friday. Saturday, 1:30. Is going to be the golf tournament. And so one of the things that's different about our tournament is it's not going to be just adults. We go out, we raise money, and we do great things for youth. We're going to include youth on the course. They are not going to pay to be able to play, and we'll have up to about 10 youth that will get a chance to get on the course, experience it, ride in the cart, hit a few balls. If they've never done it before, maybe they'll just get a chance to putt. But either way, they're going to be able to be on that course, walk the track, and be able to experience what it's like, have those conversations with some really, really good people, some good mentors for them. Afterwards, we'll have a dinner, and our dinner speakers are going to be the Youth of the Year recipient for the St. Lucie County Boys and Girls Club, as well as the golf pro for Martin Downs Golf Club. Those will be our 2 speakers over dinner. So really looking forward to it. It's going to be, like I said, our inaugural event, our first chance to get out, and our first opportunity as a foundation to show and bring our mission to life. And so truly, truly excited about it, and hope to see many of you there as well.
So you kind of answered the part 2 to that question, as far as the involvement of Black and brown kids within the tournament. So appreciate that. And man, personally, it sounds amazing. And I live down here in South Florida, so it seems like something I'd be interested in myself. So
absolutely, love you to join us. Our registration opened today, and it's on our website. So that's www.goforitusa.com, and the four is spelled FORE. So like the golf term. And so we have the registration for the golf outing, as well as the book is available for purchase, the book and the workbook on that website as well.
Well, thank you again to Dr. Kotz and Mr. Everett for enlightening us. Please join us again next week, and we will have another dose of news by and about what young people are doing in both community and around the world.
Denia, before you go on, John, we be getting some questions here. One of them, where can people find the book? And what do you hope that every child will read, every child who read this book will take away from it?
Yeah, great question. And so again, it's available two places. You can get it on Amazon, as well as on my website, goforitUSA.com. So that's GOFOREITUSA.com. And what I hope every child gets from reading the book is a couple of things. One, this encouragement to try new things, to find their passion, and then have the discipline to pursue their passion and to be great at it. As you read the book, you'll see once Tyler gets introduced to the game of golf, he learns it, he gets excited about it. He, on his own, gets up every morning before school and practices his swing. He gets up on Saturdays before actually going to take his actual lesson and practices his swing. And so that's discipline. When you find something that you enjoy, you have to put in the work to hone your skill set. Also, the benefit of doing your homework. So doing some reading, doing some research to understand the why behind things. And so, as I mentioned in the book, Tyler, once he learns about golf, he does his reading. He gets that's his assignment, if you will, that's given to him by his Aunt Asia, to do some reading and understand the history of golf. And that's part of what really lights his fire. He understood some of the challenges that the African Americans had to face and overcame to give him the opportunity to play the sport. And so once he knew that, he had a passion for wanting to push forward and excel in it.
You heard it, folks. That was Mr. Chris Everett from the book Go For It. Chris, you remind us of the date of that tournament again and where it's going to be?
It's going to be April 30th is the tournament date. The 29th is the golf lesson, and it's going to be at Martin Downs in Palm City, Florida.
And for more information, they can go to
goforitUSA.com.
Thank you very much, sir. You're always welcome back on Community Conversations. And folks, remember to tell your friends about this forum, Community Conversations. Please like us, share us, and let us know your thoughts by sharing your comments. We hope you learned something tonight that will make a significant impact in your life. Many of you have said so already, so that's an understatement. Young people, there's no greater place or greater investment also you can make on a Friday night than hanging out with us on Community Conversations. Denia, what do you have to say about that?
I have to say, students, are you considering a career in broadcasting, journalism, or just want to have fun speaking with people? Our Community Conversation team has a spot for you. Community Conversations will prepare you for success in the broadcast industry. Learn from industry professionals in a live setting from the comfort of your home. You'll master the technical skills required to control equipment, regulate audiovisual quality, and produce programs for radio or television. You can build confidence as you build a portfolio to launch your dream career as a radio or television broadcasting technician. To learn more, call 561-600-2576 or email info@kopmn.org.
And again, thank you again to all our guests for enlightening us tonight, as Denia said, and to our sponsors for keeping us going. And a big sincere shout out to Anna down in Brazil and her team at the Boca Raton Tribune for simulcasting us on Facebook and YouTube.
If you like what you say here tonight and wish to support the extraordinary work that KOP Minery Network does in our community, you are welcome to join in our 3 campaign in the recognition of our 30 30th anniversary.
Yes, it's 30 years, folks, and all we're asking is for you to donate 1 cup of coffee, $3. I don't know how much coffee is these days, but $3. You can make it $30 or $300. Guess what? No amount is too small to help us prepare one of our local kids to be ready for life after graduation. How do we help them? We help them through exposure, field trips. We have to buy food for them when we go on the road. We have to put gas in the car, and we have to pay for insurance to make sure everyone is protected. Okay? If you want to help us, you can visit kopmn.org. There's a contact us. There's a link you click on. It'll take us directly to us, or you can call 561-600-2576. That's 600-2576 to learn more. As we wrap up tonight's session, we normally leave you with the Matt. I got this. We normally leave you with the video about the mask, but guess what? I've just been told that one of our politicians, not sure which one, have been telling kids not to wear their mask in school. I will take it a step further. Make sure you wear your mask, regardless of what folks says. If Dr. Fauci said it's fine to go without your mask, you can do so. But please, kids, wear your mask. Take it away, Denia.
Well, to find your nearest vaccination sites in your area, please visit vaccines.gov.
And remember, again, although some school districts and your politicians are telling you to ditch the mask, do not do so. Remember, the virus is still out there and it's affecting people, including children. Please continue to use common sense, young people. Wash your hands, use sanitizers, practice social distance, wear your mask, and above all, get vaccinated. Denia, why don't you tell them the last line?
Have a safe weekend, everyone, and we will see you back here for community conversations next week.
And it's been my pleasure to end the show with you, Miss Strong. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. I told you I was going to sing.